This is the Wrestlebread Podcast, bringing you the latest news, recaps, and analysis of AEW and WWE. Get the unique perspective from a wrestling fan of over 25 years. Here's your host, Jaydee.
What's going on, guys? This is Jaydee, and this is episode 169 of the Wrestlebread Podcast. So we got Crown Jewel coming up this week. We also have a very interesting week in sports. First of all, the Fightin' Phils is going against the Astros as we speak, and I am heartbroken because they are down right now, and I was hoping for this to be a clean sweep in Philly just so we can, let's have our winning shot in Philly. And, this don't have to go back to Houston. I didn't want to go back to Houston, but the Phils, the Fightins, they're down right now. And your girl's a bit sad. Even sadder, because I realize if the Phils, or should I say when the Fightins win, I don't know when they're going to do a parade. I'm hoping not next week, because I am not going to be able to get out of work next week. Maybe Friday. Let's do it on a holiday, just a big ass celebration. But I do want to go to the parade. And that's pretty much like the only Philly team that will go to the parade on, because I don't really watch basketball like that. So I'll just be hopping on the bandwagon if the Sixers do pull something off. And then I'm not an Eagles fan. So I appreciate and happy for the city that they won the Lombardi. I'm not going to the parade. So if the only parade I will go to is the Fightins, and I'm hoping that they win so I can go to the parade. But please, if you are a worker of the Fightin' Phils, just can y'all please not have the damn parade like next week? Do it on Friday. Let it be a holiday, a national holiday. Well, it's a national holiday anyway, but let it be a big ass celebration where everybody can come out. More people can come out on the Friday. I know you can't do it on Saturday, but it is what it is. But getting back into wrestling, like I said, we got Crown Jewel this week. We also are working towards Full Gear and then later Survivor Series. So I'll be giving my predictions for Crown Jewel this week. Getting into some rumors though. WWE has been working on a deal with Hulu. It looks like the deal has been done. There is an announcement of a new project. With Hulu, a series that's going to be focused on Bianca Belair and Montez Ford. They didn't really give out any details or anything, but it could be a series kind of similar to Ms. and Mrs. I am all here for it. I love Bianca Belair and Montez Ford. I think they are so awesome. If you ever watch them, they did a couple of things, a couple of interviews together, and their little story, they're just so adorable. They really are. And I'm here to watch them and eat popcorn and stuff like that and be like, oh, you guys are so cute. Also, more news. Of course, everything surrounding CM Punk with the possible return of the Elite. And we saw that Colt Cabana was the former Ring of Honor champion that everyone was looking for, but didn't ask for. With his return, everybody's now wondering what's going on with CM Punk. Allegedly, there was the previous reports that his contract may be brought out. According to Wrestling Observer, allegedly he's saying that he's never going to wrestle again, once this whole situation AEW is up. Well, I'm not surprised. I don't know where else is he going to go if he hasn't wanting to wrestle with any other wrestling company besides AEW. Once he was done with AEW, obviously he wasn't going to really wrestle for anyone again. Of course, there are the people out there that firmly believe that he could be returning to WWE. And I believe I said this last week, the man still has a beef with Colt Cabana. You really believe that he is willing to return to WWE to work for the man who fired him on his wedding day? He had more beef with Triple H than he did with Vince McMahon, honestly. So I highly doubt he's going to come back to WWE. Like I said, if he comes back to WWE, that's going to be the biggest shocker. Bigger than Cody Rhodes going to WWE. That would be a big shocker. I mean, the way that 2022 has been rolling, it probably shouldn't shock us with how crazy wrestling has been this year. Let's cap it off with CM Punk going to WWE. How about it? But I don't think it's going to happen. That's going to be a little crazy. We also had some releases in NXT. The biggest one being Bobby Hayward. He was a big fixture in Andre Chase's Chase U. He was he was in a lot of these segments and everything like that. I think it was the first student too. And then there were some other people released. They were mainly on Level Up. I don't really watch Level Up like that anyway. But a big surprise that Hayward was released. It was some people who were saying that there was a lot more to the story. They may have been a handful backstage, so who knows what's going to come with that. Xavier Woods was on a celebrity edition of Wheel of Fortune. That's everyone's dream, is to be on Wheel of Fortune. He was playing for the charity Gamers Outreach. It's a program that helps hospitalized children, achieve their mission and empowerment through video games. All of us nerdies, video games really helped us out through a lot of difficult and stressful years, and he did great. Spoiler, he banked a whopping $96,000 for the charity. Also got autographs from Pat Sajak and Vanna White as well. And I'm happy for him, especially with the news that happened with G4 and everything. I'm very happy for him. He's living the life, yo. He has been King of the Ring, which was a dream of his. He has a very successful gaming channel. I mean, he was on G4. You can't, you can't go any wrong with that. And now he got to be on Wheel of Fortune. Like, he is living the life right now. Also, speaking of living the life, the real Forbidden Door, first of all, I know that, people talk about a Forbidden Door with AEW and New Japan. No, the real Forbidden Door has been revealed. Shinsuke Nakamura will be heading to Japan to wrestle the Great Muta in a match on January 1st in Japan. I said in Japan, which, wow, very crazy. 2022 is still running wild that WWE has done this. Now, not saying this isn't the first time that WWE has done the Forbidden Door. WWE has done a Forbidden Door way back before they took over ECW. They used to use Too Cool Scorpio, who was wrestling for ECW, and he would appear on WWE as well. So this isn't the first time that WWE has done a Forbidden Door. It's just been a while, especially with them being the bubble and not even acknowledging other wrestling companies. So I'm happy for Shinsuke, that this is a match that a lot of people was looking forward to, and we'll see what happens, what comes from this. What comes from other things as well. I mean, people were excited when Mickie James had appeared at the Royal Rumble and they introduced her as the Impact Women's title, but nothing came from that. So I'm very interested to see on, and on top of that, this is them sending someone else to another company, not someone from another company coming to WWE. So I'm excited to see what the future holds with this as well. Now, the next topic may be a bit of a trigger for people who could be triggered about, pregnancy issues and stuff like that. But Carmella, who has been off television for a while because of a head injury, she had reported on October 31st that she shared this story that she had suffered a miscarriage in September. And then they got pregnant again, and then she had a ectopic pregnancy, which is horrible. I had suffered from a miscarriage with my first pregnancy, and I'm very proud of Carmella for sharing it. She wanted to show for especially a lot of women, that she is not alone. There's a big, this big pressure on women that motherhood is like the ultimate goal for every woman. And if you don't have kids, if you don't want kids, if you can't have kids, then there's this stigma that there is something wrong with you. And so, people don't normally talk about miscarriage and loss and things like that. It comes off like a bit as taboo. So I'm proud of the courage and how brave that Carmella is to share her story, to let other people know that they're not alone, with them suffering and loss, that they're not alone. And that is something that happens pretty often with a lot of women, and that, there's nothing wrong with you. Fortunately, it's something, for whatever reason that can happen. And it doesn't really mean it's the end of the world. And it doesn't mean that you're going to be okay afterwards. Something like that can affect people for a very long time. It affected me as well for a couple of months. And then I got pregnant again, and that's when I had my son, who is now a damn teenager, of all, as crazy as that is. But my thoughts and prayers really go out to Carmella and Corey. However you feel about Corey and however you feel about Carmella, just keep them in your thoughts and prayers, with the losses that they're going on, especially with this type of pregnancy, which can be very fatal. And I'm glad that she was able to have it taken care of, and that she will be able to physically recover from it. And I'm hoping that she will be able to mentally and emotionally recover from these two losses as well. Getting into the recaps, let's start with Smackdown. And can we please talk about one of the greatest segments with the Bloodline? Sami Zayn is a national treasure. I know he's from Canada, but he is a treasure to the United States. And his goal of breaking everyone in the Bloodline, like getting them all to break character, it's amazing. And him and Jey Uso going back and forth, and he's saying that the tribal chief said keep peace, and then Jey Uso responded, I don't give a damn what the tribal chief said. And the crowd reacted perfectly. Roman reacted perfectly. Shout out to Kevin Dunn or whoever it was that did the camera work with this segment to have the perfect zoom in on Roman Reigns when he brought his head up. Very serious segment. And then here comes fucking Sami Zayn, telling some, he's not feeling well. And then he said lately he just hasn't been very Ucey. And that, like, pretty much everyone in the Bloodline, including Paul Heyman, couldn't keep a straight face. Kudos to Jey Uso for trying very hard. He tried so hard to keep that straight face. And then the crowd came in with the chant. And then I don't know what Sami Zayn said after that, because he didn't have the mic to his face and I couldn't read his lips. But he said something, and that like killed Roman and Jey. And then later, when Sami Zayn it was Sami Zayn, the Usos, and Solo, and he was being interviewed, and Sami Zayn mentioned how he's going to take them to the Waffle House. And you see Jey Uso pop up, was like, did you fucking say the Waffle House? And he just completely forgot about that. He hates this guy. I mean, food can mend, beefs. You take apparently with the Usos, you take them to a fucking Waffle House, everything is all good. I never been to the Waffle House. Apparently, the Waffle House must have some good ass food for Jey Uso to sit there and pop up, like his dad told him that Santa came on Christmas. It was Christmas morning for Jey Uso when he heard that he was being treated to the Waffle House too. I mean, I know it's a completely different segment, but going back to this segment was freaking hilarious. And if it was so serious at first, and then of course here comes Sami Zayn with the line of the year basically right now. He hasn't been feeling very Ucey. And that's gonna be a question of everyone. Excuse me, my brother. Are you feeling Ucey today? On a rate from 1 to 10, how Ucey do you feel on this fine day? Today is Friday, and I'm feeling Ucey. Like, my goodness. All the jokes and inside jokes that we can bring out with this segment, chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. This segment was great. And then we get to Bray Wyatt, who came back, and he had cut a promo very similar to what he did the previous week with, kind of being himself. And oh my gosh, like, I know people are trying to rush things. I'm as patient with this as we can be, because the one thing I don't want them to do is mess this up, because the Fiend was really good. And then they threw the title on him. And then that's where it kind of went all downhill from there. But with Bray Wyatt, now he's coming across as this, he's this normal person. But he's saying these little things like, there's a part of me that likes the fact that I'm not afraid to do horrible things. There's things like that. That kind of a friend that's really cool, but then he like says something out of the blue crazy, like, oh, I like to rip the heads off of dolls. I used to rip off the heads off of dolls when I was little. And it's like, oh, hold on, excuse me, what the fuck is going on here? Bruce, you need to go somewhere else. Like, I get that feeling that is how like Bruce Wayne was when he was just starting out. Like, he's really cool and everything like that, and he just says something. It might be more for the Joker when he was younger, just kind of like say something out of left field. And that's kind of how I felt with Bray Wyatt. Like, you're listening to him, he's like, oh man, Bray is so happy that you're back. And it's like, whoa, okay, he's tipping on the edge, he's walking the line. So yeah, he's talking and everything like that. And then all of a sudden his promo gets cut in the middle. And then we see this on Titantron. It popped up with a QR code, which I'm sure that people had, of course, the detectives and FBI agents on Twitter hit the QR code, which popped up. It gave me this vibe from like the Riddler from the Batman. It was a photo of Bray Wyatt, obviously a recent one, and it said liar all over it, and his eyes were X'd out, stuff like that. And then people started going into like the source code and all the other stuff. I'm like, yo, you guys are turning into Dateline 60 Minutes out here on me. But then we get to Uncle Howdy, and every time I see Uncle Howdy, it makes me want to play Red Dead Redemption, because he definitely, it's as if, I would make the joke of Vince McMahon has discovered Red Dead Redemption, but Vince McMahon's no longer here. Maybe it's Bruce Pritchard. I don't know. It could be even Triple H. We don't know. But of course now we're wondering, like, who the heck is Uncle Howdy? It sounds like Bray Wyatt. It definitely do. People think it now. Of course, here comes detectives and FBI agents. They're like, okay, it could be Bo Dallas, or it could be Bray Wyatt, or it could be this person who got signed. It could be this person who could be coming back. It's like, whoa, okay. I need people to put down the magnifying glasses and put the Scooby-Doo van away. Let's just wait this thing out, and we shall see who it comes out, who it actually is. But I am very intrigued by this. So I don't know if Bray is like feuding with himself, or if he is feuding with someone else. Who knows? But he is going to be at Crown Jewel, so we'll see how that goes. we'll see how that goes. Let's see what else happened on SmackDown. We also had Ronda Rousey, who had an open challenge for a title, and out comes Emma. And I'm like, okay, this is okay. She had a pretty good response. I like Emma. I do. But I wasn't the biggest fan of a, immediate title match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. And of course the match wasn't that good, in my opinion. I don't know. But, I guess if we're going for, a bit of surprise and something different, okay, cool. LA Knight is back. I'm very happy for that. Yeah, he's back. Yeah. I can't wait. I just want to hear LA Knight cut promos all day. He is, if you close your eyes, he sounds very similar to the fucking Rock, which is crazy. If he needs to do any voiceover work, he should do voiceover work, first of all. If anybody, like, how they do Black Adam and if they did Black Adam in like video games and stuff like that, and you need somebody that sound like The Rock, like LA Knight is the perfect person to do that. If The Rock can't come in, he could be The Rock's voice double, if there is a such thing. He could be the voice double and just do his thing as well. Hello, Shayna Baszler, who, she's now back to her Queen of Spades. Just straight up, I love the segment. Sorry, Natalya. Natalya was trying to talk reasoning to Ronda Rousey, and then Shayna just like came up and just choked her out. She was like, I'm here to choke a bitch. And she choked her out. I was fine with that. I'm fine with that. I don't know if we're teaming up with Ronda Rousey or if we're eventually going to go against her. But I'm fine with teaming up and, kind of like, just going around choking bitches out. I'm fine with that. Break an arm, choke a bitch. That could be their tag team name. I don't know. But I'm for them teaming up if that means we get Killer Shayna Baszler back. And then Killer Shayna Baszler, turns on Ronda, fucks her up, and gets the title. I am all for that. We also had a segment, a little fight between Liv Morgan and Sonya Deville, attacking each other backstage. And then we see the Bray Wyatt new symbol back there. I know people are connecting it to Liv Morgan. I'm part of me like kind of don't want that because I feel like it's going to be like a straight up recreation of Alexa Bliss. Like we're hitting copy and paste, and I want something different. Now a big swerve will be if this was actually for Sonya Deville. I would like that. That would be very cool. I would like to see her do something different because she does need to kind of get a bit of not really a big gimmick change, but she needs something to pull her away from the whole authority figure, because that's what she has been for the longest of time. And I'm hoping like it'll be very cool if she is recruited by Wyatt and get into the Wyatt 6 or whatever it is that it's called, and kind of do something fun with it. She don't have to like we don't have to put her in a Red Dead Redemption mask or anything like that, but she don't have to be anything like the Harley Quinn that Alexa Bliss and Liv Morgan are suddenly be. Like have her be like a badass killer, like a not so much as a dominatrix version of what Rhea Ripley is doing, but something like a dark version of now it can't come to me. I completely forgot what the point I was making. Maybe a female dark version of the Joker. Not that so much ha 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 jokey, but I'll slash your tires and I'll slash your tires and I'll steal your girl type of situation. I know that's kind of what Rhea Ripley's doing. Well, Rhea Ripley is stealing his sons. But Sonya Deville, she can definitely like do something dark to keep her away from the authority gimmick that she's been doing as well. First of all, we have a match this week. I would like for us to give a moment of silence for Rey Mysterio because he is supposed to be going against Gunther. And I'm sitting here like, I'm sorry, dude. You refused to fight your son. And you said, you know what? I'm not going to fight my son, but I'm willing to get my chest caved in and go against Gunther. Like, he's going to come out looking worse than Chris Jericho and Kofi Kingston's chest won't have nothing on Rey Mysterio if he gets one chop from that. I mean, he did get one chop. But, oh gosh. But let's give a moment of silence for Rey Mysterio and his chest when he go against Gunther. Okay, that was it. But the Rey Mysterio is a grown person. And if you decide, like, yeah, I'm going to go against Gunther, he's going to do what happened to Darby Allin tonight. He's going to go for a suicide dive or whatever, and he's just going to go clunk on Gunther. I don't know if you guys saw that, but that's what happened to Darby Allin. That's what's going to happen to Rey Mysterio next week. Now, I get it, like, I'm happy for Rey Mysterio and stuff like that, but yo, you probably should go back to Raw and fight your son. Like, if it was between me having to fight Gunther and having to fight my child, like, we scrapping, kid. Sorry. Like, I'll go easy on you. But I don't want my heart to get taken out of my chest like Mortal Kombat because I'm going against Gunther. But overall, SmackDown was pretty cool. I'm sure we're going to have a taped SmackDown show. I didn't even check to look into that. But I'm sure it may be a tape show since they will be going to Saudi the next day as well. Getting into Raw, which was Halloween. And we had like the visuals and stuff like that and everything like that, which was fine. I'm happy that it wasn't like the overall, like, the atmosphere of it felt a little bit different. Did they have the typical Halloween matches? Yes. But I'm happy that we didn't have the women coming out dressed up in costumes. We didn't have the typical Halloween party backstage segment with all the people and stuff like that. We had a pretty entertaining match. Now, kudos to them because they weren't going up against the Fightins. Because I definitely would have been watching the Fightins if it wasn't rained out on Monday. But they were going against Monday Night Football, and people were trick-or-treating. We don't trick-or-treat in my neighborhood because it's Philly. There are parts of Philly where you can trick-or-treat. Good luck to you. But no, we don't do trick-or-treating around here. I normally do a candy hunt for my kids for Halloween, but Halloween was on Monday. I was tired. I didn't feel like stopping to get candy and stuff like that. I told my kids, I'm like, look, I'll order out for you guys and we gonna call it a day. I buy candy for you guys anyway. But yeah, getting into Raw. First of all, surprise, surprise, we have new women's tag team champions. And, you know, I didn't really expect that. You know, sometimes with, you know, the booking back in the day, you know, 4 times out of 10, the booking will make sense or it will be a pleasant surprise. Now we're up to 8 out of 10 as far as booking making sense and pleasant surprises. I am pleasantly surprised with this whole new tag team champions. It makes you interested to see where are you guys going to go with this. Okay, we have, you know, new champions and stuff like that. Where do we go from here? You know what I mean? We also had a match between Seth Rollins and Austin Theory. Seth Rollins with the blonde hair. Shout out to Dallas for singing the damn song all throughout the match. It was giving me vibes of Anarchy in the Arena when they were playing Jon Moxley music over and over and over again till Jericho cut it off. But the fans sitting there chanting his theme all throughout the match. Kudos to them. Of course, Seth Rollins winning was fine with me. And then, first of all, can we talk about Rhea Ripley, out here stealing sons. I was cracking up because, first of all, I know that Ray isn't on Raw. They moved him to SmackDown, more likely to, not having to force themselves to book, a beef between Ray and Dominic for months and months and months. But my goodness, look at little Dominic coming out here like, no, Daddy, I don't want to be a lucha anymore. I got me a real woman, and she told me that I'm a man, Daddy, and I'm a real man, Daddy, and I'm better than you, and you know it. I know that was MJF at the end, but I'm sure that's what Dominic is saying. And Rhea is she's just, basking. Well, I'm about to make another AEW reference, but basking in the glory of all of it. Like, she is fully going all in of out here stealing sons and girlfriends too. I mean, no, she hasn't. Well, she ain't still girlfriends, but she's out here stealing sons. We also had Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar, who's supposed to have a face-to-face interview. Of course, Brock Lesnar shows up, gets into the ring, says, "I don't talk, I fight." Bobby Lashley looking smooth as ever. I am happy that we are getting Hurt Business, nice suit with the nice glasses, Bobby Lashley. Like, a part of me really hope that Triple H will find it in his heart to bring back the Hurt Business. I love the Hurt Business. I thought that group gave me Nation of Domination vibes. Except for, I like I do. Some people may come up my neck for this, but I did like the Hurt Business slightly better than the Nation of Domination. Have to say it. But I'm hoping that they come back. And then, of course, they start scrapping. Out comes the whole locker room. Here comes Papa H on screen, getting his authority chops back in. He got the suit on, he is back to his authority days, coming out to try to break up the match and stuff like that as well. I was fine for that. And then, of course, we get to Alpha Academy, who came out. Of course, as Patrick Swayze and Chris Farley from the SNL sketch with the Chip and Dale. Otis did the worm. First of all, no props to the Dallas crowd for not popping like hell for the worm, which we haven't gotten in, I don't know how long. Years, maybe, at this point? I don't know. Otis getting broken up. Otis breaking, yeah, it was years. Yeah, because Otis, after he broke up with, once they were breaking up, that's when he had won he won the Money in the Bank lunchbox before they had broke up. Heavy Machinery had broken up, and that's when he used to do the worm. So yeah, he did the worm and everything like that. First of all, I meant to go on Twitter to get the gif of Otis looking into the camera's soul and then hip thrusting as the camera was zooming. I think the camera was zooming out at that point. But yeah, that was an entertaining match as well. And then we get JBL coming out, Baron Corbin coming out as well. And then we get R-Truth. Bless this man. And I really hope he has a speedy recovery. I didn't see the match that he got injured in. I didn't see the segment. But I did hear that he got injured and they had to cut the match pretty quickly. I am hoping for a speedy recovery. I like R-Truth. Of course, they started saying the truth and stuff like that. And then here comes R-Truth. And it seems like, him and Corbin may go into a feud. We'll see. But him and JBL going back and forth was kind of funny for me as well. And then we get to the funniest segment, which was the 60 minutes, the 60-minute parody, with Baron Saxton, who did a great job, and he was sitting there and looking as serious as he can be, interviewing Johnny Gargano with this whole why the real reason behind Dexter Lumis attacking The Miz. And the reenactments, ladies and gentlemen, top notch. If you are a fan, first of all, I love watching shows on Investigation Discovery, Homicide Hunter, Deadly Women. Don't come at me. No, I'm not about to murder my hubs. And other shows, about the reenactments. And first of all, seeing the reenactments, and they were all Johnny Gargano reenacting, what he was talking about. It's just like, it was gold. It was really, really gold. And Raw was actually pretty entertaining. And I'm happy that, we also had Roman Reigns too, who came out, as well. And, asking Dallas to acknowledge him. I, kind of forgot about the tribal chief there. Don't come at me for that one. But yeah, it was a pretty good entertaining Raw. And we have Nikki Cross, who is back. Nikki just wants to play as well. But yeah, it was a pretty good Raw, I have to say. Good go home show for Crown Jewel. Speaking of Crown Jewel, let's get into the predictions. So first off, we have Alexa Bliss and Asuka, and is going against Damage Control for the Women's Tag Team Championship. So here's the thing about Crown Jewel. Normally, you can just kind of pick things. And now because we still don't really know the ways of booking when it comes to Triple H. He can book for things to make sense, or he could put us in a pleasant surprise. We just had the titles change hands here to Alexa Bliss and Asuka. Are we going to play hot potato with these titles and have it go back to Damage Control? Or are they going to retain and we're going to have something else come out here? I'm going to officially go, I don't know. A part of me thinks it could go back to Damage Control, but I'm going to stick with Alexa Bliss and Asuka here. I think this might go to the Survivor Series War Games, and maybe the titles will exchange there. I don't know, but we'll see. Next up, we have Omos going against Braun Strowman. Big man versus big man. Big sweaty men slapping meat, as Big E would say. So this one could go either way, truthfully. Braun Strowman could win here. This is his first feud since he came back, so him winning here would make sense. However, if you want to make Omos dominant, you can have him defeat Braun Strowman here. And it's all a matter of, where do we go from here? Is this a one-off type of situation? Because, with Crown Jewel, I believe this is the first one with Triple H in charge. So this could easily be taken as a one-off type of match. Or this can continue on for a couple of more weeks until Survivor Series. Who knows? Because we don't know how Survivor Series is going to be done either. We already know there's the War Games, but is it going to be champion versus champion? Is it going to be, I believe he did confirm that it will not be a Raw versus Smackdown type of situation. But is it going to be champion versus champion? Are we bringing NXT into this type of situation? So we don't know where things are going to go until after Crown Jewel, obviously. So it's very easy that we can have, for example, Omos win here, not win cleanly, and then the feud continues on to Survivor Series from there. Or this could be a one-off type of match, and Braun Strowman wins here and ends the feud, and Omos goes on to go against whoever from then on. But I'm going to be bold here and say that Omos wins. He's not going to win cleanly because MVP is going to be there. And then this feud is going to continue on to, whether it's going to be for Survivor Series or whatever pay-per-view it will be in December. Next up, we have the OC going against the Judgment Day. Now, this is another situation where it can go either way. Obviously, this is a storyline that is building up for AJ Styles to join the Judgment Day, as Finn Balor would like to have it. And then, of course, the Good Brothers come back, and then we go from there. So this is another match that could be a one-off just for Crown Jewel, or this can continue on until we get the eventual match of AJ Styles and Finn Balor. So I'm going to actually go with Judgment Day on here. Then again, you know what? I'm going to go with the OC. I'm going to go with the OC, but the feud continues. Sometimes they like to do the feel-good match, the feel-good endings with Saudi. But I'm going to go with the OC here. If the Judgment Day does win, I feel like that might not be as clean. If it's clean, I'll be shocked. If it's Dominic that gets the pin, I'll be shocked. If Dominic gets the pin on AJ Styles, I will be shocked. I will be shocked. But I'm going to go with the OC here. But I feel like it can go either way. But I do feel like the story is going to continue as well. Next up, we have the Usos going against the Brawling Brutes for the Undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions. Now, this could be one of those pleasant surprises like we just had with the Women's Tag Team Championship and have the Brawling Brutes win this out of nowhere. However, I don't think that's going to be the case. I think that the Usos are going to retain. It's just a matter of when they're going to lose it. It's very possible they could hold these titles until either Royal Rumble or WrestleMania. But they can also lose the titles here. It feels like they are slightly setting up a feud that could involve Jey Uso, maybe with either with them breaking away from Roman Reigns or with Sami Zayn. Of course, it's the feeling that eventually we will get the Usos going against Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. However, Sami Zayn has been killing it with the segments of the Bloodline, and so I feel like it could we're definitely pushing out as far as it's definitely going to be pushing out as far as the eventual end of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn going against the Usos. Maybe this will be something that would happen at it could be something that would happen at WrestleMania, maybe. Who knows? But I'm sure I'm not the only one that is really loving these segments with Sami Zayn and the Bloodline. Next up, we have Drew McIntyre going against Karrion Kross in a steel cage. My guess is to keep Scarlett out. Very interested to see how this entrance with Karrion Kross and Scarlett is going to be. But Scarlett was throwing fireballs and spraying pepper spray, which is something that a steel cage, in my belief, won't be able to stop. I mean, if you're going to spray pepper spray, it will go through the cage. And if you're going to shoot a fireball, I mean, if you aim properly and make sure you don't hit anything, I feel like it will go through the cage as well. So I'm not sure what we're stopping here. And this is another feud. All these feuds that's listed on this card can either be one-offs or they can continue it on into not really one-offs, but the end of the feud, or continue to Survivor Series or something else. my heart is slightly broken because I see that the Phils are down by 5 and it's the top of the 9th inning. And so it looks like Houston's going to tie this series from 2-2. And I can't take it because I want the Phils to win. Fuck the Astros. Sorry if you're an Astros fan, but fuck your team. So going back into my prediction. This can go either way, truthfully. Selfishly, I want Karrion Kross to win. That would be my pick. I won't be surprised if it's... I don't think Drew McIntyre is going to get the win until the end of this feud. That's how I'm feeling. So I think we're going to get Karrion Kross here. I think that this feud could be a feud that will end up in a Hell in a Cell. Maybe if they are bold enough, they can, throw a Hell in a Cell at in the December pay-per-view. If there is a December pay-per-view, I didn't even check. Or, it could be something with Survivor Series. Or if they do decide with War Games to have it kind of like the older school type of Survivor Series before they did the whole brand split and it's Smackdown versus Raw, where we had, teams together, like the baby faces versus the heels, but it was all continuing the story of their individual feuds. So we can have Drew McIntyre and Karrion Kross going against each other in a War Games cage, in War Games, and it will continue the feud or it will end it. Who knows? But I'm officially going to go with Karrion Kross on this one here. I think even with them in the steel cage, something can happen and, he'll end up winning. Next up, we have Bianca Belair versus Bayley in the last woman standing match for the Raw Women's Championship. Now, this match, Bianca could retain. She could, and I love Bianca. Let me put that out there. I love Bianca. She could retain. Or we can kind of like quote unquote make history here and have, I believe, the first time of a title changing hands in Saudi. We can have Bayley win. And with her winning here, because normally, in Saudi and stuff like that, they can change titles and it won't be a negative crowd reaction because the crowd will cheer either way. They're happy to be there. And I feel like if we're going to take the title off of Bianca, you can have it. I feel like this is going to be a really good match anyway. But we can take the title off of Bayley, maybe have Damage Control interfere, or this can be a very, very tough match and have Bayley win clean, or she does something. It's very possible that this will be a match showing off Bianca's strength, and we have something, crazy finish, and then Bianca retains. But I'm going to be ballsy, and I'm going to say Bayley's going to win here. She's going to win the title, and then we're going to do something here. This could be, especially since there is the rumor of Bianca and Montez doing a series or something like that. This could be a write-off for Bianca to go and film, or if she has something else set up, it'll be, something like that as well. But I'm going to imagine that the filming for Bianca and Montez show probably won't happen till after WrestleMania. Or if they are able to film them, in a very short period of time, I guess in December, maybe cover the holidays, stuff like that. And then she comes back at the Royal Rumble. Who knows? But I'm going to go with Bayley on this one. Next up, we have Brock Lesnar going against Bobby Lashley. This match, I think, is going to be pretty good. We got Bobby, we got Brock, B&B going against each other. The match that people wish we have gotten so long ago, and we're getting it here. Now, this match can go either way. I like Bobby. I really do. And I like Brock Lesnar. I feel like this is going to be a pretty good match between these two. And I'm hoping this turns into a feud that lasts for a while. I really do. And I know this isn't the first time they face each other, but I wanted the feud to be as intense as we're getting it right now. And I'm hoping that we will get obviously a match better than Brock Lesnar and Goldberg. But I'm hoping that will last into a feud as well. This feud, as you see, we don't need the title in order for this feud to be really good. This feud is good on paper as is. I want Bobby to win, but I don't see Brock Lesnar losing either. Especially the fact that he is returning. So I'm going to go with Brock. That hurts me. I'm going to go with Brock. But I feel like Bobby can bounce back. Now, if Bobby wins, that will be a very pleasant surprise. I won't be mad at that. But I think we're going to have Brock Lesnar win here. And then finally, we get to the match that everyone is looking forward to. The potential match of the year. Roman Reigns versus Logan Paul for the championship. Now, no hate against Logan. He has been doing pretty good in his matches. He's done a lot better than I thought he would. Of course, there are people who really don't like him. There are people who are upset that he gets a title shot after 2 matches. But that's how it goes. I mean, look at AEW. We got people getting title matches and they had nothing to... They didn't even speak to the champion. I mean, and I said this previously in WWE, all you gotta do is bump into the champion backstage and look at them weird, step on their shoes or something like that. Say that their dog is ugly and you get a title shot. So I'm not surprised of Roman Reigns getting a title shot against Logan Paul. I'm not surprised at that either. I think we're going to have an entertaining match between these two. I don't think that Logan Paul is going to win here. That will be, in my opinion, pretty dumb booking for Logan Paul to be the one that dethrones Roman Reigns from the title. No. Obviously, it feels like the plan here is for him to hold the title into WrestleMania. He go against his cousin, The Rock. The Rock wins, dumps the title the next day, and they both ride off to the sunset on, with Roman part-time retired. Who knows? But I don't think he's going to lose it here. I think it's going to be an entertaining match. They're in front of the right crowd for this, I tell you that. Because if this was in the States, Logan Paul would have probably gotten booed. I mean, there'll be people who would cheer for him because there are still fans out there that will just cheer for the face automatically and will boo for the heel no matter what. However, if they were in a wrestling city who will, tell the truth, Logan Paul probably gotten booed out the arena. Who knows? But I'm going to go with the tribal chief here. Throw up the ones. You are the twos. We are the ones. And acknowledge your tribal chief. I'm acknowledging that he's going to retain here. And I acknowledge that he's going to talk mad shit about Logan Paul while he's fighting. Now, there is the little thought out there of Logan's brother showing up here. Possibly them two going against the Usos, which I don't want to happen. I don't. No, thank you. I don't want it. I don't want it. No, thank you here. But yeah, overall, I think Crown Jewel is going to be a pretty good show. I'm interested to see what's going to happen with Bray Wyatt. I'm interested to see these matches. I think on paper, these matches are going to be pretty good here. And I feel like this may be one of the better, I will have to say, maybe one of the better Crown Jewel shows. I have to think about it and see. From top to bottom, I should say. But we'll see. We will see. Quickly going into AEW, Full Gear is starting to shape up. We do have a world title eliminator tournament. Funny thing I've noticed is that when I heard that Marina Shafir is getting a title shot, I said, excuse me, what? Qu'est-ce que c'est? Because I'm pretty sure that Marina Shafir didn't pick up that many damn wins that she is that high on the rankings. So I went to AEW.com and I said, let me look at these rankings. And I went to the website and I said website, and the website say, huh? And I said, can you show me the rankings? And they said, what rankings? And I said, the AEW rankings, fool. And the website said, we ain't have rankings since August. And I said, oh, okay, Tony, what are we doing here? Are we done with the rankings? Because then I realized we are showing records, but we're not showing the rankings. And I noticed that the commentators don't really talk about rankings like that as much. And I'm like, is it because we're just booking shows? We're just throwing competitors at champions here? Because, I mean, we talking about Logan Paul not deserving of titles. I would like to say the same about Marina Shafir. Nothing against Marina Shafir, you know. I like her look. I like her look as a problem, stuff like that. But in my opinion, she ain't ready. She ain't ready. I mean, nobody's ready. Nobody is ready for Jade Cargill, including Bow Wow. But Marina Shafir is not ready for it. First of all, I love Nyla Rose sitting there eating chips during the match, and then came out and did Jade Cargill's little entrance. I believe that was on Dark. I saw the footage of that. And Jade Cargill is out here stealing your girlfriend and your wife. She is your wife and your girlfriend's favorite wrestler. Okay, she is the one that your wife will leave you for. Okay. And obviously, she is too damn expensive for little Bow Wow. I saw that little Twitter exchange with Bow Wow. He tried. He shot his shot. I don't blame him. But you know, sometimes you're trying to shoot with a water gun. You know, don't shoot with the water gun because you're not gonna get your shot. Okay, you're gonna miss and you're gonna look like a damn fool. Which he kind of did. Because she. It looked like she kind of hurt his feelings, I have to say. Because then he was like, well, damn. You know, I know you was listening to my stuff. And Cargill had to tell him, like, chill, fool. I'm playing a fucking character here. Like, calm the fuck down. Then you just say you wanted to do this. You don't know how to take a damn joke. But she killed me when she said you couldn't afford me. And he was trying to say, oh, I can't afford you. And I'm sitting here like, dude, do you know who her damn husband is? You can't afford her. Like, I know what you saying. But you gotta listen to what she's saying. She's saying you can't afford her. And you can't, my brother. You can't afford her. Her husband has a fuckload of money. Okay? And she could probably bench press 6 of you. Alright? So let's stop playing. You couldn't lift her damn hand. Okay? And then she was coming at Jaydee from New York too, which that's a whole other story. But you know, it is what it is as far as with that. But then we also had Jeff Jarrett, who showed up. What is going on here? Why is I got it as soon as I found out why he showed up because of Jay Lethal. I was like, okay, that makes sense. You know, he is that makes sense. He, you know, did the match with Jay Lethal as far as the, you know, the last match with Ric Flair. I get it. But I'm not understanding why he is in AEW. And then I'm hearing that they're signing people, and I'm like, yo, you have to slow down for a second, sir. You only got 3 hours of TV, and you have a lot of damn people. You have 2 companies, and only 3 hours to show it. You have to put the pen down. You got to put the pen down, and you got to figure some things out. Like, you brought back Colt Cabana, and people completely forgot. People forgot he was with the company until fucking CM Punk mentioned him. So, like, put the pen down and you got to figure things out. You got to go to your website and look at your roster. Because there's some people in that roster that I forgot was on with the company. There was a few people who showed up on TV a few weeks ago, and I forgot they was with the damn company. So they need to slow down. Okay, you need to slow down. We also had Samoa Joe going against Brian Cage as well. And we had Wardlow coming out to make the save after Samoa Joe was attacked by Jeff Jarrett and company. And Wardlow comes out, and next thing you know, somebody grabs him, and it's Powerhouse Hobbs. And we have the final shot was Powerhouse Hobbs holding up the damn title, which was like, whoa. I just realized I'm mixing things up. So Jeff Jarrett showed up with Darby Allin. He didn't show up with Samoa Joe. That was Brian Cage and that group. So we had Wardlow come out to help. We had Wardlow come out to help Samoa Joe when he was being attacked by Brian Cage and I forgot the group's name. But he was being attacked by them. And then that's when Wardlow comes out. And he does, I like to call it the power slam, because that was, he slams motherfuckers down when he does it. And then he holds up the TNT championship, and that was the final shot, which I'm all here for it. Listen, I am a big fan of Ricky Starks, but I'm also a fan of Powerhouse Hobbs winning that TNT title though. And I hope he carries it and he holds on to it for a nice amount of time, and that he's on TV defending it and not in a tag team. Just saying. But yeah, we also had Orange Cassidy as well, and Shibata is here, and he is going to go against Orange Cassidy for the All Atlantic Championship. I don't know what side of the Atlantic that we're talking about that Japan is sitting on. Maybe it is slightly, maybe it's near UK, or it could be up, on Canada's side. I'm not quite sure. However, he's going to get a shot at the All Atlantic Championship as well. I didn't really see much of Dynamite tonight, of course, because I was watching my Fightin' Phils, and they were getting slaughtered in Game 4. And, yeah, the game is the game still going on? The game is still going on at the bottom of the ninth. And it looks like we may be tying the series. And now I'm getting slightly nervous because it's going back to, it might go back to Houston. I was hoping for it is going back to Houston, but I was hoping for the Phils to win it here. But, it is what it is. I'll take the win, whether it's in game 5, 6, or 7. Well, no, they're tying it, so it's going to be game 6. If we get 6 or 7. But, I'm hoping that the Phils win here as well. So yeah, I really didn't get to watch much else of Dynamite, so it is what it is. However, I will be tuning in to watch Crown Jewel. I believe it's 12 o'clock. It's 12 or 2 o'clock. I don't know what time the exact time yet. It's supposed to be on this Saturday, but I will be checking it out as well. But that's it for the Wrestlebread podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Shout out to my Fightin' Phils for trying to fight it out. They got smashed. It's 5-0. I see bottom of the ninth, 2 outs. It's not looking good, but 5-0. That I think Houston was pretty pissed off. I don't know if you heard the stories, but the Astros tried to order something from, I think they were trying to get like catering or something like that. They ordered something from a restaurant and the restaurant said no. And then the next night they get, fucking dominated by the Phils. And they decided to use all their energy to just fucking dominate here, 5-0. But we are going to keep hope alive, and we're going to strive on. So we have the game for tomorrow, which hope. Now I'm on hope. I am sitting here on hope more than Princess Leia of with the fightings. But I still think we're gonna do it. I'm just hoping that the parade isn't next week. Not because they didn't win, but because, we're going to have it on Friday or something like that. And that is game. My fighting's going to come back. They're going to get pissed off. They're going to get pissed off, and they're going to say, no, we're not going to go down like that. So, but wow. Are the Astros pissed off? Still fuck the Astros. The fightings are going to come back. I know they are. But let me give some shout outs. Shout out to Julian Rob Bates from Wrestling Court Podcast and TurtleMinds.com. Keita and Jay from the Keita and Jay Show. Chris from We Talk Next Podcast, which is featured on the Keita and Jay Show. Nando and Larry from Half K Podcast. Devin Hafiz from Clark Street Wrestling as well. And special shout outs to Straight Talk Wrestling, Circle Debate, and Top Rope Wrestling Talk as well. Coming up next week will be my review of Crown Jewel as we go on to the next pay-per-view, which is Full Gear as well. Be sure to hop on Twitter and follow me at JDC137. That's JAYDEE, the letter C, 137. You can also follow the podcast on Twitter at Wrestlebread as well. You can click the links on the bios for the Instagrams, the Facebook, and the YouTube channel. Going to be doing a little more with the YouTube channel, especially for this being November. I am hoping to do a reaction to matches from Survivor Series, maybe some top 10s that WWE tend to throw out there. I also plan on doing maybe reintroducing, I guess I should say, the slates from Jaydee, probably talking about Survivor Series matches that I've seen previously, maybe my favorite Survivor Series matches, maybe the worst Survivor Series matches. If you are OG, you know exactly the worst Survivor Series match that is out there. And then also, because it's November, I may be doing some reactions to some November to Remember matches. There are some matches out there that I haven't seen. Don't come at my neck, please. I know I'm from Philly, and no, I didn't watch a lot of November to Remember matches. ECW was very popular when I was trying to go through a girly phase, and so I really didn't watch ECW like that. I watched WWE, but I didn't really watch ECW because of the gore and all that other stuff. But I have come, now that I'm an adult, to really appreciate ECW and wish that I did tune in late at night on Channel 48 back then and watch some of the damn matches. To, have the experience and the feeling that I had when I was watching WWE. But alas, I did not do it. And that's why we have Peacock, WWE Network, YouTube, whatever. But yeah, I plan to watch and react to some matches of November to Remember. Hopefully I don't get copyright strike or whatever. It's a fucking reaction. I'm not going to, put the whole match out there. But it'll be me reacting and talking about the matches as well. So, keep a lookout for that one. But do subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you are notified when those videos come out as well. Leave a review. Let me know your thoughts. How do you feel about Crown Jewel? What match are you looking for the most? What do you think is going to happen next with Bray Wyatt? Is there going to be more of Uncle Howdy? Is there going to be another character? Who knows what we're going to get from here as well. But Thank you so much for listening, and until next time, guys, peace.